With promotion to the top flight, SFC Opava have gone through a sizable squad rebuild. Last episode, we brought in the likes of Fabian De Kejza, Jovan Mirkovic, Nemanja Ilic or Valjankovic, while letting go 2 Adams, Enodracek Enrichte and Solomon O'Malley. Due to us having no wage budget remaining, we were able to bring one more player only, and that is Dawid Szczepanek, who last played in Jablonec. He's a decent defender and will play for us in a libero role, but he's only coming to us at the end of August, and now it's just about July 20th, the day when the season starts with a game against Dynamo Czeskie Budziejowice. So slightly higher up the tempo of the game is Tomasz Stefko, finds Blecha, finds Jirkal, and that pace merchant almost scores it. We've already got an injury of Jiri Skalak from Budziejowice, but Jirkal now wins possession in the second highlight of the game. Pass it, square it basically. And he's decided to shoot. Filip Blecha crosses again. This time Vichnal scores the first goal of the season. Back in the top flight and we're already leading, which is a good indicator for the season. Might go a little bit more balanced. Maybe find some little more time wasting, lower the tempo of the game in order to keep that 1-0 lead. Although our entire backline is getting tired, I hope this will not influence this highlight. Hellebrand. Nemanja Ilic almost wins it. Hellebrand again scores it after a blunder from Janacek as well. We've got an advantage over Czeskie Budziejowice. And this is the final highlight of the game. If they score... Trumero wins the ball on the left side. Moita. That's a ball played to Slatki. Suhan wins it. We've bottled our victory in the final minutes of the game. We've bottled it on the stoppage time. I mean, nothing wrong from Bezdek. Stefko's just inexperienced, but thankfully we're having Jankovic joining on the second game. We might lose Filip Blecha though. I'm disappointed, but at least we know that we've got potential. Because just look at the match stats. 19 versus 7 on shots, 8 versus 5 on target, 1.9 on XG versus 0.6. And I can keep going, but you know the point. There is a positive in this bottle though. We are capable of actually playing on a decent level and did not come here to just keep getting battered. Our first away fixture was at Teplice with only 1 goal. But this was a goal scored by us, with Jaroslav Malek hitting it into the top bins. It looked like we were getting back to normal in the third game of the season against Sigma Omuniec. However, a mess on the corner led to Slavia Prague loanee Tomasz Stefko equalizing. That was another important point. Mlada Boleslav got a great start to the season, but there is one thing they are missing. A win against Opava. They did not get it, because they only scored to a single goal. And how about us? 1, 2, 3 and 3 points. But if you thought this season was going to be a walk in the park for at least a safe campaign, you'd be wrong. On the 5th match day, we went on to play Hradec Kralove, who had 0 points prior to this match. What happened? You guessed it, they scored in the 6th minute. Literally nothing else happened in the first half. So we will skip to the 53rd minute and Tomasz Rataj scoring after he got an open goal pass. But they made up for their mistake. A brilliant shot, I must say. A penalty. And Blecha, with the worst clearest attempt of all time, made it a total of 4 goals for the relegation threatened side, which meant we might be relegation threatened as well. Good thing we returned to home action with a 1-0 win over Fastav Zlin. But would the return to form last for long? Not sure, because we're facing Sparta Prague next. As Malek takes a shot just over the bar. Kehrida now goes past the opponent. Will cross it. Janacek with a blunder. We're after the first half. Rataj is injured, so we'll bring in both Dominik Breda and Pavel Vichnal onto the pitch. Stepanek also is tired, so we'll bring in Jules Diouf. Kehrida again, he's already crossed the ball once, resulting in a goal, and that results in a second goal. We temporarily won possession, and that's free. Miguel de la Fuente with a lob, and they just abused this Kehrida guy, despite the fact I told them to trigger press on him and just tight mark him. Sure, we've got thrashed by Hradec Kralove, but this will be our first season. We will thrash people and then we'll be thrashed, and now Karabec is getting us getting a 5. Although we're playing low block, we're just getting a 6. This is what I don't want, particularly. Rus is going to score a 7th. I mean, I expected a 2-0 down, but I cannot explain this. As a team that started really decently, we're 9th in the table, we are still 9th. And we are safe and sound on 11th. This is far from even bad. I seriously don't get it. How are we meant to stay up, at the very least? What just happened to a team that started the season with a decent run? And it didn't look like the end of the problems. Not only it's a derby against Baník Ostrava, but of course we got the dressing room atmosphere to the worst state possible. So I absolutely expect nothing out of this game. And that goes in. Although, we might have the VAR, but I don't think it was offside. It wasn't. And now the players will be angry at me because I've already used the demand more. We'll see how much offside that was. That was a little bit offside. Mirkovic passes it to Vichnal, who almost lost possession. Dominik Breda at least got a shot, but slightly off target. Has the ball on the right, crosses it, and it's cleared, but Almasi is getting a penalty. Just give already the pen. I don't even care at this point. Takac is going to take it and score it. Adera. It's a second. Now I seriously can't at this point. I'll take that to the loss. Although it's a loss. We should be safe from relegation considering the form of Karvina, Hradec Kralove, and Fastav Zlin, maybe Pardubice as well. This genuinely is funny. Look at this result. Baník Ostrava just lost to Sigma Olomouc. I mean, it was slightly better, but only slightly. We still lost, and it was mainly due to set pieces. And giving a stupid penalty, of course. But I said that we are safe because Pardubice are having a bad run of form. It can't get any worse. 3 thrashings in a row. We're just going straight down. No chance. Unless it can. Because in the third round of Mall Cup, we encountered Witkowice from the 4th division. And they opened up the scoring. A couple of minutes later, a penalty for them was called. And at this point, I really thought this save might as well be over. There is no way we're recovering from this embarrassment. I'm getting sacked. I'll just simulate the rest of the game. Can't even think of an You what? Did we actually just learn how to play football? I looked up the highlights afterwards, and it turns out we were in the final minute of the extra time. So, I don't know, did Opawa players get motivated because you just subscribed to the channel? Don't know, up to you. But it definitely helped in the game against Slovacko. This was the game when the Kaiser, who was injured by the way, finally got the debut. Janacek was also injured. This is why Lumircic played the last 2 games. The debut of the Dutchman definitely played a factor in this fixture. He just couldn't stop saving us, and even saved a huge one-on-one. Our big chance came in the 86th minute. Marek Fiala got fouled in the penalty area, and after VAR confirmed it, Jarosław Marek stepped up and scored it. Only 4 minutes to go, but the problem was we got the highlights straight from the kickoff, which resulted in another 1v1, but thankfully the opponents hit the crossbar. No more shots came on, which means we took a huge win and 3 points to potentially turn things around. So could we keep up the form against Slavia Prague? No, I did not expect anything to happen, but they scored 6 goals. 6! There's actually no way we're staying up at this point. Especially when Karvina, yes, Karvina, who are rock bottom, scored 2 in the first half. Our only answer was Jirka's left-footed strike, which means we lost the game against the side in last place. And we are 9th in the table before the Sparta Prague game. Only reason why we're not rock bottom is that Zlin, Kralove and Karvina themselves are losing games after games after games. We at least had a sort of reserve supplies in the points we got early. But yeah, we just cannot win against relegation rivals. Against Victoria Pilsen, you guessed it, we lost a goal in the 8th minute, and I was prepared for another dismantle. So much so that I abandoned the 5 at the back tactic entirely. Yes, I switched to 4-2-3-1, which then became a 4-3-3 on the permanent basis. Did this new approach work? Well, I guess it did. And it kept working in a game against Czeskie Budějovice, who we defeated 2-0 in the Mall Cup round of 16. Same thing happened against Liberec. although it was just 1-0. After making huge progress in these couple of games, I decided to stick to a 4-3-3 because with 5 defenders, our defense got into pieces way too often. I wanted to stop that with a tactic that balances out the space in every part of the field and actually makes the space out wide with wingers. Next up was Bohemians Prague. The game was just an easy one, as we scored 3 goals by the 55th minute. Things got close in the 64th minute with Christian Herrera scoring this header. Things got insanely close in the 70th minute. Herrera scored again. Okay, and I hope nothing else happens. Just see the game out. Can we actually hold the draw? At least? Turns out we just don't know how to keep a result, as Bohemians got probably their best comeback in their history, although Veseli, who's their coach, couldn't care less. We sorted ourselves out in a game against Teplice at least, as our Nugent Marek Fiala scored a brace, and Zorvan with Rataja added to the scoring as well. Fiala kept his form for the next game against Budziejovice, scoring a double too. The barely 16-year-old scored against Omuniec as well, but when he was given a penalty, he got stopped. Our team then let Sigma players score twice, and thus we lost. But at this point, I wasn't even mad anymore. But I was mad when we lost 4 goals against Mlada Bolesław. Thankfully, we scored not 1, but 2 back, but it wasn't enough to prevent us from another loss. With that, we are sitting 12th in the standings, which is still a place in the relegation group, but we are very far from the bottom 3, and only 3 points away from as high as 8th, which may give us a chance to play in Europe. The Czech league system is really weird, so I'll explain the rules if we get to play that. Before the transfer window, we knew we are going to say goodbye to Jules Diouf, who moved to Cyprus, and Gia Grigaleva, who moved back to Georgia. Neither of these players got a load of game time, so it was a good decision to take their wages off the books. I am also looking for a winger in the winter transfer window when it comes to the comings into the club, as this is the position we're currently lacking in. About centre mids, we have a new box-to-box midfielder in Erwin Saavedra, who you may know from a certain journeyman career. I want to end this episode with a question for you. We've got Marek Fiala and Miloš Jirkal from youth intake last year. Both of them are pace merchants. However, I can only play one of them up front, so the other one will have to go and become an inside forward. Which one would you put in which role? Let me know in the comments below. Jirkal may be faster, but it's Fiala who's got 5-star potential. Both had fantastic moments on the pitch this year, but it's up to you who's going to be a striker. Oh, and also, I got 2 job interviews. First on the Turkish side Kasim Pasa, who I denied, but this one from Sparta Prague is tempting. This is strictly an Opava save, so we will not move. But if you were in this save, would you try getting that?